Today we are making the autumn moon crochet hat. You're going to need a 4mm crochet hook and a tapestry needle and 3 different shades of yarn. All right, we're going to be using a 4 medium weight yarn, and this one is, let's see here, this is the brand and it is Cream. There's this one, that's the brand, it's a 4 weight, and this one is called Pumpkin. And this is just one I had left over from a different project. We're gonna start off and we are going to make a chain. Here we go. We're gonna chain 34. So to chain, I'm just gonna pull it through a loop, wrap it around the hook, pull it through the loop, and it should start to look like that. Kind of looks like little V's. So keep going with that and we will meet you back here at 34. We have 34 chains now, so we're gonna turn it around and we're gonna do a single crochet all the way back, starting in the second chain from the loop. So that's this one. And we're gonna start right here. So the front of the chain looks like little V's, and if you turn it over and look at the back of the chain, there's little bumps. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna go through each bump. So let's do that. So not the first one, but the second one. So that's this one. It's the first bump. And then second, third, fourth, those are all the bumps. So that's the back of the chain. The front of it looks like V's, the back of it looks like little humps. And we're gonna do a single crochet through each of them. So you put your hook through, yarn over, and we're gonna pull it through and pull it through. And that's one single crochet. We'll do it again. Pull it through. One more time. Pull it through. And we're gonna do that. Okay, we're at the end of the row, and now we are gonna attach our first color. So we just pull it through the last loop there, and now we're gonna turn it, and we are gonna start. So we're now gonna do a chain 2. That one going in was kind of our chain 1. That's gonna be the chain 2. And we are gonna do double crochets. So in the first, this right here is the first hole. So we're gonna go through there and we are gonna do our first double crochet. So we pull through the first 2 loops, pull through with the second 2 loops. And now we're gonna switch to doing double crochets, but in the back loops only. So the loops are right here. So that's the front, but the top has 2 loops, one here and one here. And we're gonna be going through the back loops. So we're gonna go through like that and miss the front loops completely. So we're gonna chain over and we are going to go through the back loops. There's 1. Okay, we're gonna add our next color now instead of pulling this through. So we pulled it through with the kind of burnt orange color for the first 2 loops. And now for the second 2 loops, we're gonna add the cream color. So we're gonna put that on the hook and just tighten it up. And it is gonna be pulled through the last 2 loops. And now we are gonna continue on and we're gonna be tucking now these 2 little strands in as we go in the middle. So we keep those in the middle and yarn over and through the back loops 4 times for the cream color. So first 2, second 2, and we're gonna do it again. First 2 loops, second 2 loops. switch and pull through. So now those all kind of line up, and the line is more seamless if you go through with the next color, because it's the one that kind of hangs over into the next group. So we're going to continue on doing that back and forth with those two colors all the way into the end of the row. Okay, I'm at the very end of the row. For the last one, we're going to go through both loops, not the back loops only. So I pushed it through both loops. We're going to pull this up. Now to keep all the yarn kind of going up into the next one, I am going to pull through both colors here. So that one and that one. And now both colors are ready to go at the same level. So now we're going to turn and we're going to do the exact same color pattern the other way. Here we are on the other side. We are going to chain 2 with the gray, because that's the color that we're following here. And we're just going to go through both loops, keeping in mind to keep this one in the middle so that it's hidden. And now that we've done that one, we're going to go back loops only for the rest of it until the very last stitch. So we're going to do that for 2 more. And on this one, since it's our last of this color, we are going to switch to pull through the second 2 loops. So we are going to do a crochet through both loops since we're at the end. And since we need to switch to different colors, we need this orange now. So as I'm coming through, I am actually going to take it and bring it up so that it is ready to go. So we are going to be using, for the next row, we just finished this. This is a whole column. So we're going to be switching to a different color scheme now. So we are going to be doing orange and the burnt orange. So those are the 2 colors that I need to have ready to go. So I'm going to pull this through, and then I'm going to pull the orange and the burnt orange through last. So it is ready to go for coming through my next row. Ready to start the new row with the new colors. So we're carrying those with us. The first color is going to be the pumpkin. We're going to change to chain 2, and making sure to keep this one in the middle, we are going to do a double crochet. And now we are going to do double crochets in back loops only. Here and here. And one more. And we're going to change to the new color halfway through. There we go. So that is the new color scheme. Pumpkin, burnt orange, all the way down, alternating every 4 until we get to the very end, and then we just do a regular double crochet at the very end. I'll meet you there. Here we are at the end. We're about to do the last crochet through both loops. There we go, and we're just going to use this to carry it up and turn. We're going to be doing the exact same color scheme, following it, so your stitches should match up exactly with these stitches with the same color. So we are going to chain 2 with that one, and we're going to go through both loops, and there we are. And now back loops only for this one, and you know what to do. Just go to the end of the row and we'll meet you there. I am back to where I started here. So now we have 2 columns. So the hat's actually going to go this way. This will be like the bottom and this will be the top. So these are the 2 columns. So we're just going to be repeating these 2 columns exactly for the entire length of the hat until you have the width you need for the circumference of the head. So my next column is going to be burnt orange and gray, and it's going to go exactly like this. So burnt orange here, gray here, burnt orange here, gray here. You're going to follow it exactly. And when you're done that column, which is 2 rows, you're going to repeat this column. So pumpkin, burnt orange, pumpkin, burnt orange. You're going to go there exactly until you have reached the size you need, and then I will show you what to do next. I have my desired length here for my mat. There we are. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make it into a tube. We only need the one to sew it up now, so I'm just going to cut here and cut here, and we can get rid of those. I'm going to be using the pumpkin to sew up mine just so it kind of matches how we started here with the same color. We are going to fold it into a tube. So we're going to be stitching up right here, so at the end it's just going to be like that on both sides. So we're starting here on this side and this side. If you match up the V's, we're going to be doing that. Also, something really helpful, you could match up the changes of the squares so you know that you are doing it evenly all the way down. And when you are finishing, make sure you finish so that when we are sewing it together, you're going to have the same pattern repeating. So you don't have like a pattern of pumpkin and burnt orange next to a pattern of pumpkin and burnt orange. So we're just going to be using a slip stitch for this. So we're going to leave our crochet hook where it is, and I'm going to attach it to the first single crochet on the other side here. So we did that. I'm going to take this, and to do a slip stitch, we are going to pull it through both. And now I'm going to go through the next one, pull it through both, and we're just going to go into our last stitch. So we go through this one, go through this one on the other side, pull our yarn through, and pull our yarn through the previous stitch. We're going to do that all the way down. I'll do 2 more here, just so we can see what it looks like. There, 1 more. There we go. And we're going to go all the way down, and I will meet you. All right, we're back here. I have sewn the tube together with this line right here, and we are going to do half double crochets all the way around the border, just to give it kind of like a seamless finished look. So to do that, we are going to chain 2, and then I'm going to do a half double crochet right here. So to do that, you put your hook in, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook now, which will look exactly like it did for the double crochet, but instead of pulling through 2 and then pulling through 2, you just pull through all 3 together. Do the half double crochet, we're going to yarn over, put our hook through, and pull through all 3 loops on the hook, and that is a half double crochet. So we're going to work our way all the way around the circumference, and you just kind of have to poke your crochet hook in different spots. There's not really a designated spot for it to go. I do 4 half double crochets per column, so just try and find 4 spots where you can put your crochet hook through and go all the way around and come back here, and I will meet you right there. All right, I am back here where I started. I've gone all the way around, and now we are just going to slip stitch to the very first chain that we made here. So we're going to go through both loops, just like that, yarn over, pull up the loop, and go through your last loop, and then you are finished with the cuff. Hopefully you were able to find 4 spots on each column. We don't want it to be too snug here, so it'll still fit around the head. All right, so now we can snip this yarn and we will go to the top. Okay, now that we're at the top, we need to gather this all together. So I'm just going to use some of the extra pieces of yarn that I cut off here. Hopefully you left long enough ones that you can do the same. If not, just add an extra piece of the yarn and we'll use that to sew around the outside. So we're going to use our tapestry needle for this. And I'm just going to thread the needle with one of them. So I'm thinking since I have two, I'm gonna go halfway around, and I'll tie it there. So we're just gonna weave back and forth around the entire circumference of the top. So out, and then back in, and out, and I'm just gonna pull it tight as I go. So out, oh, there we go, out and in. Just to make sure it's really closed, we're gonna just weave back and forth with the yarn and tie it again. Okay, now you just need to roll the cuff up, and we have made sure everything's sewn closed on the top, sewn in any ends, and now we can just work on the pom-pom for the top of the hat. To do pom-poms, I typically have 3 ways that I do them. I will show one of them for this hat, and then if you wanted to do a different one, you can just check out a different post on my blog. I actually just happened to have these 2 things that came out of the top of ribbon spool, so the thing was in the middle, and I just happened to have these, and they worked perfectly. If not, you can just cut 2 circles out of a piece of kind of sturdy cardboard, and then cut another circle in the middle. It doesn't have to be this small, it could be bigger as well. So we're kind of just going to be mimicking what a pom-pom maker does. We're just going to make room, and we're going to do the exact same thing on this one, so right about there. And then we can just put them together. What we're going to be doing is getting whichever color yarn you want, or you can do multiple colors. We're going to be wrapping it around and around, all the way around this C until there's kind of like a fat section of yarn the whole way around. If you actually have multiple pieces of yarn going around, it'll go a lot faster than one going around and around and around. So we're going to hold it so that the open ends are at the outside of the circle, or the C, and we're just going to kind of wrap it a few times just to secure it. We don't want it to let go. Okay, so now that it's secured in, we are just gonna wrap. Okay, I have it wrapped pretty thickly all the way around the C. So what we're gonna do now is just snip the end of this. Just attaches our yarn. There we go. And now what we have to do is we are going to grab some sharp scissors, and we're going to slide them in between these and cut all the way around the outside of here to release that. A section of yarn, and now we're going to slip that in between the 2 pieces of cardboard, and we're going to tie it back here. So pick it up, and those are the 2 pieces of cardboard. We're just going to slide it in. There we go. Now I have both pieces all the way through, and they're just hanging out right here, and we're just going to secure it. And now all we have to do is remove it from our cardboard. We can just trim any of the excess pieces. I am going to leave the 2 longer ones that I used to tie it, just so I can attach it to my hat. pom-pom is made and trimmed. This is what it looks like. So now we are ready to attach it to the top of our hat. So we're gonna take it and we're just gonna use those 2 longer pieces that I saved, and we're going to sew it onto the top of the hat with the yarn.